Hey y'all, this is Erin
Hey
of
everybody, how
the
y'all
Rise
doing?
and Phoenix firm. We're gonna talk about her book. What's it called, Erin?
Rise Up, Overcoming Depression.
Doesn't she look cute in here?
See how I broke down and then
Look, rise up.
Rise Up.
Look. So we're gonna get into that. We're gonna talk about her companies. We're gonna talk about a couple different things. Because Erin is multifaceted.
Yes.
She is, I don't like the term serial entrepreneur. I really don't like that word. I feel like people should define themselves. Because when I think of serial...
I think serial killers.
Certain words I don't appreciate.
Yeah.
Even though it's supposed to be something that we glorify, it's like, nah, homie, I'm good.
No, it's just like, because people be like, oh no, you shouldn't do so many things. I feel like it's telling a woman who has 5 kids you can't love all 5 of your children, or you can't spend the time,
Say the word.
And people really misconstrue that. I know we ain't really started this show, but I'm still talking. Hey sis.
No, we talking just
okay.
to talk. No, he's still
okay.
When we get online, we'll get online. But for now, let's just keep it going for the audience who are tuned in anyway.
Yeah. So I just feel like people have it misconstrued, but yes, I mean look at your average millionaire. They're doing 7 different to 10 different businesses, and having all that income come in. And if one fails, another leg's going to keep going. So that's something that I continuously preach, and I do obviously, as you can see, just because I know what I want to create for myself and my son, and I know the legacy I want to leave behind. And so if in order for me to do that, I'm going to have to do different things.
You're going to be going.
Can you look at somebody who used to work at banks getting laid off and stuff and putting all one egg there? What they say, don't put all your eggs in one basket. But yet people always tell you, oh, you shouldn't do all these different things and all that kind of stuff. Like, no. Because
for me, like, just like I was sharing, I do have my first company that I started about 7 years. It's going to be 7 years. Hey, y'all. It's going to be 7 years come September. And you never know what, will happen. Hey, y'all. Hey. Happy Thursday. This is Balaji of God is Talk. Welcome. I have a special guest today. Her name is Erin McFarley.
Yes.
Hey, Erin.
Hey.
How you doing?
I am amazing. How are you doing?
I'm chilling, man. Me and Erin been chopping it up here already for like a good 30 minutes because Erin got here real early. You got here a couple minutes before, after I did, actually.
Yeah. Okay.
But we're going to talk about you, your companies, your brands, and your new book, Rise Up, Overcoming Depression.
Yes.
So, Erin, talk about yourself. Let's know who Erin is. Who is Erin McFarley?
Erin McFarley is a woman from St. Petersburg, Florida.
St.
Pete in the house. What's up, Bert? So, I'm from St. Petersburg. I am an author, as you all see. I'm also a real estate agent. I recently just began doing taxes. Come get your taxes done. Cash tax prep. You know how to put that plug in.
Yeah.
As well as I am the owner of the Rise and Phoenix firm, which I do public speaking consulting, training, and coaching, helping with, your self-confidence, stage presence. In the past, I've worked for banks since the crash of the market and in real estate since 2007.
Okay.
So my background is more so banking and finances.
Okay.
However, working in those jobs, I also was a director of education at Barbizon, which is like a modeling school, and I also was a teacher at John Casablanca. So basically there, I help children build their confidence. And I used to do a lot of networking events with my mom. It's an organization called BNI, and that's an international company, international networking firm. Anywho, I would see adults talk about their businesses and be scared. Like, I couldn't understand that. How you got a business and you're supposed to be passionate.
I feel like you just called me out real quick.
I'm sorry.
I felt like I just got attacked. No. But keep going.
But
I feel that, though.
To see a person who has a business and you're scared to talk about your business, that was a problem. So there it birthed the Rise and Phoenix firm. It made me want to help people, especially ones that look like me who are in business, and try to help them build that confidence, even ones who may do speaking currently. So I'm helping. I go around to different schools in Pinellas County, speaking to the kids, helping them build their confidence. I was blessed to be able to have a plug at a elementary school, and working with a group called Girlfriends and helping with their organization and helping boost these young ladies' self-esteem, because self-confidence is very important, and we try to, I'm a mom, and I try to teach my son self-confidence every day. It's very important to have, and it's just so surprising how so many people lack that, so and then with me writing the book, I am a survivor of postpartum depression. And if anybody who knows me knows that I've never been a shy person, never been a ashamed person, never been a person who, was depressed. Just never was. And, postpartum hit me like a ton of bricks. And that's what that book's about. I got some good tools in there to help people get that confidence back, believe in themselves. I can go on and on about the book, but I need you to buy the book.
All right. So, number one, drop the link for how they can buy the book first.
First, the link to buy the book, you can go to Amazon, or you can go to www.riseupovercomingdepression.com to purchase your book and to support the movement and helping people with depression. This is something that's plaguing the multitudes. You understand?
And especially for Black women, because we're going to get into that, because I want to unbundle a lot of different things, because number one, you are a multifaceted person, and like I said before, we really got online, we were just talking about a lot of different things. Me and Erin have never met physically before until today, but damn, shine that light. That's how I'm shining my light on people these days. That's how I feel like I'm shining my light.
No shade. We not shading no lights.
Look, no shade. It's all light.
Absolutely.
But we never met. We were only connected through your cousin Dalvin. What's up, Dalvin?
Shout out to my cousin Dalvin.
And who I met through my girl Brittany. So shout out to Britt. But this is all St. Pete over here. All right. But we just, I felt like we clicked online.
Absolutely.
And it's just always been love. Whatever you posted, I just shared it just off the strength that it didn't have to really do much. I saw your grind, right? But before we got online, we were just talking. And it was so crazy that you would come in today to talk about depression. Because there's different forms of depression.
Absolutely.
You were talking about specifically postpartum.
Yes.
But a lot of people right now are suffering with depression in different spaces, right?
Absolutely.
And this past weekend, we lost somebody that really has put me in a space I'm slipping. And that was Kobe.
Yeah.
So I played basketball from the age of maybe like 10, 12 probably. And got into it with my dad, as far as my dad got me into playing basketball, and I hated the sport. But something was like, I'm getting good at it. Might as well keep going.
Yeah.
But then when I had a heart surgery at 18, I couldn't play anymore. And that put me in a space where I just lost it.
Funk,
No, funk was not it. Depression was real. But, of course, nobody else knew because I can project what other people need in order for them to feel comfortable.
We've been conditioned to do that to us people.
I'm dying inside.
Okay.
But I felt like Kobe and just so many other players, like Kobe was... Like, to me, so many different players. We have Hakeem Olajuwon. We got Shaq. We have Rick Fox. I'm a post player. You know what I'm saying? So Kobe was one of the players that I hated as a post player. Okay? He was the one who would go try to drive, and I'm like, yo, I'm going to smack you out of here. But you respected him.
Yes.
So all my point guards, all that. So this past weekend rocked me in ways that I never realized, right?
It was.
And so I've had a hard time past couple days really dealing and coping. So it was like, all right, the fact that you were coming today, I was like, man, I needed a day. But I appreciated it because this is about, so I want you to tell us about some different tips that you have in here that someone like me who's dealing with a different sort of funk right now, but who's gone through a serious depression in the past. How can we deal with certain things?
Well, I'm gonna say this: I dealt with postpartum depression. The day my son was born was the greatest day of my life. The next day, my uncle passed away, and so they told him that I had my son, and then within hours he passed away. Then I found out 4 days later one of my close friends was murdered. This is all in the same week of me having my child. So on top of me having postpartum depression, I was dealing with deaths. And because I had to be strong, that strong Black woman again. I heard you say that you put on that thing to make people feel comfortable. I know what it looked like because as Black people we've been conditioned to do that. Think about slavery times. We were depressed as a people during that. That's why it had us under for so long. Okay, so because we've been conditioned to think like that and to do that, we just go through the motions. You know what I'm saying to you? So I was going through the motions. I was being the mom. I was being the girlfriend. I'm working. I'm busting my tail. I ain't gonna cuss on here, cause but. I was just going through so much, so I understand that. So within this book, I provided tools for people who are going through those things, especially people that look like me and other minorities. And not saying that any other people don't deal with this, but I know us as a people, we've been conditioned to just slough it off and just shake it off. And that narrative has to stop. Because that's where that angry Black woman thing comes from. Sister ain't angry, she's depressed. She's going through some
anger is a way of expressing.
It's a part of depression, though.
And that's the thing, a lot of people don't realize because to cry is very hard.
Yeah.
People think it's, it's easy, but no, when you are that strong,
Yes.
number one, I played a sport. I've had broken random and bones and random things. I haven't really broken a bone. I twisted ankles.
I used to do mixed martial arts,
I've
so
messed
I know.
up fingers.
Yeah.
I had a whole big bulge of a black eye. Wore
Yes.
sunglasses to school because some girl came down with her elbow on my eye. Like, I've been through some things. I didn't cry during my heart surgery. I didn't cry until literally I had a migraine. That was just how strong I've always maintained. So to cry is very hard, and a lot of people do not know how to even do that. And then for us as women, because we are talking about that, I feel like now when we ask men to cry for us or to emote, you can't ask somebody to do something.
Our men have been conditioned to not deal with their emotions.
Exactly.
And that has to change.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, your thing, your story, your book is not just for, I don't feel like it's just for women.
Absolutely not.
You know what I'm saying? You have one specific form of depression you were dealing with, but anybody, and it's not saying that, because I know another thing is a misdiagnosis of depression.
Absolutely.
When you're dealing with grief in certain spaces, when you're dealing with, just heartache and all those things, and our men especially have dealt with theirs in their own different forms. I think they can definitely take from this too. So I want to make sure all the guys who are watching, I love y'all.
Examples of gentlemen in that book, because suicide is rampant as well with black men, and I discuss a lot of people who are famous. You got some multimillionaires, football players I've mentioned that have committed suicide out of depression. The twin brothers who were football players who recently in the past year. These brothers are hurting, and our men don't have a safe space for them to express their emotions because they've been taught that it's being soft, or they've been taught that it's gay or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And those things have to change. That's why the black man, the black woman have so many issues sometimes with each other, because we're both dealing with so many different things that society has put on our shoulders. And again, we've been conditioned to just take it. So in the book, I provided tools to help anyone. I also had a friend, a colleague who committed suicide. She was going through divorce with her husband, and they found her in her home hanging. Very strong black woman. That woman you go to, that check on your strong friend. Look, that was the strong friend. I'm that strong friend. It takes one to know one. So I felt it was imperative for me to write that book, just because I know if I was dealing with that, and I'm telling you off rip, I was someone who looked down on people who had depression. I'm not even gonna lie to you, because I'm just that strong-minded.
Were you going to the church and looking down on people like that?
Yeah. Well, you know what I'm saying. I wasn't going to church,
but I'm just saying. But another thing that I've, because I did grow up in the church.
Yeah, I did too.
And you're gonna try to pray it away. Ain't no praying for this sometimes.
It is, and let me tell you something. Some of your head leaders are dealing with depression while they're praying over the church and they speaking over the church. You understand what I'm saying?
Yo, Erin about to drop some things.
You out here crying in the corner. You depressed too.
Look,
like, that's not what's gonna work. That's not gonna get me into the gates, as you say. So what were we gonna do?
I was just talking to somebody recently, and I was like, you can't preach to people about certain things when you're broken yourself inside. But guess what? They do.
They do.
You don't know what a lot of these preachers, pastors, and people are going through, because again, you're told that you have to do this. Be strong. Speak to the people. You got the whole armor of God on you, but it's like, dude.
But you suffering and your people suffering, and you're the shepherd of the flock, and the flock is suffering. Look. So if you don't get yourself together, you have to lead. Literally lead by example means just that. It ain't lead by faking. But
I do appreciate the fact that a lot of people now are being very transparent about stuff, that they're breaking through a lot of things. So you had asked me before we got on air, why did I move to Florida?
Yeah, why you moved out here?
So I told you a friend of mine passed, and I came down here for his funeral. And I had never been to Florida, never been to Tampa, I had wanted to, spring break, college, I still never made it. But I came down here for it, and I was just driving through, got the car from the airport, I'm driving through, and something just told me, you're home. I was like, what? Man, I got a whole life in Jersey. I got a business in Jersey. I got a whole lot of stuff. My whole family's in Jersey.
Oh, wow.
And, Maryland, the whole DMV, the whole tri-state, that's me. Yeah, okay. I run through that whole area. What you mean? I'm just going to up and come down here of all places to do what? But dealt with the funeral, and that day I was looking for apartments and stuff down here. Like my thing is I've always been spoken to. I've always listened to my messages. I'm hard-headed as hell. I'm an Aries into Taurus.
Girl,
so the bullhead is me.
So you already know.
The bullhead part, I got both. I got horns like anything, and I'm bullheaded, but I came down here.
Right.
And another thing is I just felt like I was literally dying in Jersey.
Yeah.
That's why it was like a confirmation, because I was just like, I can't do this here anymore. Like, I just felt like I was going through the motions, and I was just that strong friend. I was working like crazy. I was trying to build a legacy, build this, build, do this, But
what about you? I talk about the MVP in my book, and that's the most valuable player. Everybody knows sports. Kobe was an MVP. But a lot of people don't realize if you don't take care of the MVP in your life, which is you, your team gonna fail. And that's your children, that's your family, that's your people who look up, So I talk about self-care in one of my chapters, and paying attention to the MVP, which is you. Like, you have to. And I was not doing that. I'm speaking only from experience. Yeah. And everything that's in my book is nothing new. Yeah. These are things that are tried, true, and tested. And I'm just letting people know that it works for me. Sometimes you have to hear things different from different areas,
people,
to understand and to get it. And that's all I presented in my book, Rise Up Overcoming Depression, available on Amazon.
Hey, get it. Look. But you should follow her on Instagram at the Self-Confidence Whisperer. So self_confidence_whisperer. Yes. But then also on Facebook, it's, what's your Facebook?
Erin McFarley on Facebook, or the Rising Phoenix Firm on Facebook as well.
Okay.
Check me out there, most definitely.
Yeah.
And I'm just, wanting to connect with people just to help them, because let me tell you something. People don't really realize that it's other people going through what they're going through.
Look.
How crazy it may sound. You think that no one's going through that struggle. And I've met so many women and men after reading my book to say, wow, you made me feel like it just wasn't me. And that made me feel good. Yeah. That makes me feel great to know that, because that's my purpose on this world. Like, you have to find your purpose. That's one thing I loved about Kobe. He knew his purpose.
And that's what is hurting so much, right? Because it was like, this dude was purpose driven from just how strategic he was on the court to how strategic he was off the court. You can say what you want about him, but that man was dedicated.
He knew his purpose.
And there's not many people like that, because when I say my tenacity, I didn't play like a big girl. I play like a small person, so I'm still going to harass you on the court too. You know what I'm saying? I'm still going to sprint like a small person. I'm not just going to be a big chick on the court. I really was going hard, and I felt like Kobe definitely influenced that. He wasn't my favorite player as far as that, if you want to call it, but he was a great player that you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's been really tough, because I was just stuck.
Yeah,
so we're about to take our first break.
Okay, first break already.
We're about to take our first break. So if you want to call in, be part of this conversation. I feel like today's just a healing day.
Oh yeah,
813-444-9588. We'll be right back.
Yay.
Hey y'all.
Hi everybody. Thank y'all for watching.
So
call if you have questions.
So my girl Sam. Sam, I'm gonna read your comment when we get back online on the thing. But like today. Y'all, it's been rough. I'm not Balaji today. Today is just a hard day. It's a hard day. But you know what? It's good though. It's just been a rough week. Okay. It's been a rough week. But that's why I'm really appreciating the fact that you're here, because you know what? If it was any other topic today, I'd be like, man, fuck this. I'm not doing this with y'all today. I'd be like, because was I here last week?
No, ma'am.
I canceled last week, right? Did I cancel last week?
Yeah, because I was like trying to watch it.
I did because I had the training.
You did.
I had a training.
I'm like, what's going on?
No, but it's just been a lot going on that, certain things I just can't be bothered to do anymore. And I'm learning that when I can't do it, I'm not doing it. Huh?
Don't do it.
I won't. And I won't force myself. But I'm used to forcing myself.
And that's not okay. I'm a forcer. Trust me.
Look.
Grin and bear.
I'm used to forcing myself. I'm used to... Because I had an event, what was it, Gods and Angels? And I had a whole breakdown after Gods and Angels.
I bet you did.
I sure as hell did. And my body, my body just gave out on me. And that was like...
Your body was telling you it's enough.
I can't do it anymore. So it wasn't just the fact that, I was going so hard, but the amount of energy. Because
You put a lot into that.
Look, so supernovas ain't got energy like Balaji got energy. When I put into somebody or put into something, I'm going all out. And it was like, I was supposed to go to, I don't know if anybody knows Tariva, but she does the vibes.
Oh, Whitney Nicole? Yeah?
Yes.
Okay.
So I was supposed to be honored that next day after Gods and Angels.
You couldn't make it.
I got dressed. I was dressed. I was in the car going. I look nice too. I'm just going to let y'all know. You know what I'm saying? I was looking good. And we're coming back on?
We're coming back on. Okay, we back.
Hey y'all, it's Balaji. How y'all doing? We are back. But yeah, I was looking real good that day.
Yes.
And I was in the car driving and my whole body started shaking.
That was your body reacting.
And I felt like I was about to pass out in my car. And I got a nice car, y'all. So I was not trying to crash my car. And I literally spun the car around and went home. And it was so crazy because my two friends were still around. Mm-hmm. And I just came in the house. And I was like, I can't do this. I can't do this. I can't do this. And I couldn't. And I just literally crashed. And I didn't wake up till the next day.
Your body was exhausted.
And it was like, I can't do this. Emotionally, everything. And it was just a lot of stuff that's just compounded on me.
At one time.
Yeah. And because my thing is, failure is a big thing for me. Mm-hmm. We don't fail here. Mm-hmm. All right, we don't. Fear is a motivator, but it's also a crutch. Mm-hmm. So
fear will stop you, like I was saying. Fear will stop you.
And that's
dead in your tracks.
Dead in your tracks.
I mean, like, bam, we ain't doing it.
Exactly. But I've always been able to, I guess, offset. Mm-hmm. If you think about a magnet, you got the positive and the negative. Mm-hmm. So yeah, your fear could really be that negative that is stopping you from doing something, right? But then, the word of my tongue, was always powerful. Mm-hmm. I always manifested stuff just by speaking it. Mm-hmm. So my fear, was there, but when I spoke something out, it was going to happen, whether I wanted to or not. It was going to happen.
That is the power of the tongue. People really do not realize it. The positive and the negative can happen just like that.
You will manifest things.
I'm teaching my 6-year-old that, for him to be very conscious of the things that he says, even at 6. And he's like, okay, Mommy, I won't self-doubt talk. You doggone right.
Self-doubt talk. Okay, so now let's talk about that. So you went through so much you just birthed a human being.
My first child at 30 years old.
You're
had my first
ecstatic. Baby. You're in a beautiful space of love and all these things. And it just crashes on you.
It was a lot. I wasn't in a happy place in my relationship. Mm-hmm. Not saying that person, my son's father, is a bad person, because he's absolutely not. Mm-hmm. We were not meant for each other. And just in the space of, I didn't grow up with, my grandma raised me, my mom worked, I didn't know my dad at all. Mm-hmm. So I wanted that for my son. And I was like, dog it, if I got a grin and bear, that's what I'm going to do. Mm-hmm. But it was taking a toll on me. I was not happy. And again, I talk about in my book, being a parent, being a depressed parent, raising a child. There's so many parents out here who are dealing with things, and their children see this, and then their children are thinking that this is the way how you're supposed to act.
That's how you're supposed to love people.
And that's how you're supposed to love. And that's how you're supposed to talk when mom and daddy may be depressed and may be going through some things. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I had to really, really take a step back and be conscious of that. I didn't want that for my baby. So I went to the doctor. I was like, okay, something's going on with me. I don't know what's wrong. I feel like I thought I was having a heart attack. I thought I was having
a stroke. It does feel like that.
I promise, like, I had never felt anything like that. I thought I was literally having a stroke one day. And I'm like, I'm just 30 years old. How am I having a stroke? Like, what's going on? I'm healthy, but it was the doctor was like, that's your body telling you cannot take this no more. You have to stop. Whatever's going on. And then, they want to write a prescription. Yeah. Some pills. I ain't doing that.
None of that.
I'm from nose school.
Because what you're saying right now, I am somebody who's very in tune with a lot of things. So I've studied the chakras. I study, crystals. I really do arm myself in that space, right? And I do heal through a lot of those things. And during this weekend, my throat was killing me. I was like, look, I eat healthy. I'm the one all my friends come to when they're sick. I need some tea. I make a concoction. I heal through my teas. I heal through my stews or my soups. Whatever. I can heal myself. My tonics, all that. But I was like, nah, this is my throat chakra. My throat chakra is blocked. Why? I'm repressing certain things. I'm not saying certain things. I'm not admitting certain things. And it's like, once I recognize that, but the thing is, your body can show you
it's gonna tell you
that something is wrong with you. But a lot of us are not in tune. We do run to those doctors.
They will give,
they will teach us, oh, you need to take this for this.
That's a business. That's all it is. That's a business.
It is a business.
It's a business. Like, people understand the doctors, God bless them, but if you knew who made the institution of education, you know that it's all, don't give me to the Rockefellers, Rothschilds, all kind of stuff. But, they've been conditioned, but you are made in the image of the great creator, whoever you believe in or what the case may be, but you're made in the image of someone. So, and because of that, you have the power to heal, self-heal.
You do have
the power to speak life over and death over you.
Say that again. You can speak so many things. And so with your book, it took you, number one, you did go to the doctor. You did try to seek help, but then they tried to medicate you.
And I was like, I'm not taking these pills.
And then so you decided to look within.
I had to.
And a lot of people don't ever get to that space because they sometimes don't have the strength to do it. And nobody's saying that there's nothing wrong with not feeling like you have the strength, right? But there are ways, there are multiple ways to do it. And so talk about your process a little bit, if you can share a little bit without going too much into the book. But talk about your process within this Rise Up Overcoming Depression book.
I had to get down to the nitty gritty of what was going on with me. You know yourself better than anybody else. And if you don't, you have to take time with yourself to know yourself. I'm the only child, so being by myself is not a problem and things like that. But what I will say is I had to be honest with myself. And I think a lot of people fail or have issues, not saying fail, but they have issues with just being honest with themselves. You want to keep it real with your friends, keep it real with the homies, keep it real with your girls, but you're not keeping it real with the main person, and that's you. And so I had to be real with Erin. Erin, you're not happy in the position that you're in. You're not happy with who you're with. You're suffering. You feel like, I thought I was dying, like literally.
That's how I felt in Jersey.
And when you have those type of feelings over yourself, the brain doesn't really understand like you're depressed. It just feels like your body's shutting down. You're sick. This is how people like when they have cancer and things of that nature. You have to be positive. You have to, because those things that really makes a difference.
It shows in your skin.
It shows, so you have to be very conscious of that. So anyway, I started years ago, my aunt introduced journaling to me, and I was 15 years old. I found my grandfather dead when I was 15, and that was a lot for me. But me journaling really helped, and getting my emotions out. So I got books and books and books of journals from years, and so you'll see some journal entries within my book as well. But journaling and meditation, I'm not saying that prayer doesn't work. And again, I'm not knocking anyone's religion.
Your journaling could be your prayer there.
Your journaling is your prayer book. Your journaling is your meditation book. It's where you're putting things out on paper to bring it to life, to manifestation, or to get some things out and purge them so that you can move forward. But again, like I said, you have to be ready to look at yourself in the mirror and be like, okay, some of these things I put on myself.
You got to break yourself down even further sometimes to build yourself back up.
I did. It took a process. It was a process. Like, it was a process for me to...
And it was a couple years process, right? It's not overnight.
No, it wasn't overnight.
I just want you to make sure you let people know that
no, this ain't overnight.
Look.
Depression just don't come and you be like, oh, you know what, today I'm not going to be depressed. I'm going to stop right now. That is not how depression works. That's not how anxiety works. And because I've lived through it and witnessed it and been there, I know that it took me a couple years to get over it. I wasn't used to my body. I had gained all this weight from having my child. So those different things that you go through as a woman, that was rough. And just dealing with everything. I used to do bankruptcy on mortgages for HSBC Bank. So it was a very stressful job and there was a lot going on. So I had to digress from what I was doing and be open and honest with myself. And when I began to do that, I ended up finding things from childhood that I had never really been dealt with. So we buried things. What?
So let's talk about this weekend.
Okay.
Kobe's situation brought up my childhood trauma of losing my grandmother. And my dad and my parents don't know this. Nobody really knew this. I just really spoke to my best friend about this recently. And I was like, I never dealt with the death of my grandmother. I was like, this is why I am detached from people. Because to lose her, I thought she was the only person who ever knew me in my life. And so our family didn't allow us to be at the funeral. They didn't allow us to be part of the whole situation. And that, for me, I understand people have their reasoning for wanting to keep a child, but I'm the child that I believe that you shouldn't hide things from children. I am a firm believer of that.
I'm very bluntly honest.
Yes, because, and I always tell people I'm brutally honest about certain, you know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, when they get to my age and still doing certain things, sometimes you don't realize that it was that little thing that you didn't allow them to do that actually manifested themselves and dug deep, that they don't even know how to deal with emotions. But
no, don't get me started on that. That's a lot of adults don't know how to deal with emotions because their moms used to sugarcoat stuff. And all that kind of, and I'm not saying curse a child out, do crazy stuff like that, but you have to be very honest with your children. I'm very honest with my son. You have to be. And I'm a grandma's baby. My grandma raised me. So when you say your grandma passed, like I was 21, my grandma passed away. And 21, I'm drinking, I'm in the clubs. It was a very inebriated state for me after my grandma passed away, but that's how I dealt with it. But even then, I didn't think I was depressed. But I was depressed then. But after me having the postpartum depression and digging deep, it made me go back to like, dang, when mama died, I was depressed. Yes. Like, I was jacked up.
You didn't know.
I didn't know.
I was like, I realized that, you know what, it's not even just I've been still hurting through all these years about that. So because now anytime anybody would pass, I didn't even have to know them personally. I don't know Kobe for nothing, okay? I've never met him. I didn't do any of his clinics or nothing. Like, I didn't do any of those things. But I would always freeze up after somebody, like, if you had told me, oh, my cousin died last week, I would freeze up. I wouldn't know what to do.
Because your body is reactive to
I would just go back to that baby 6-year-old self and just freeze and just wonder what am I supposed to say, what am I supposed to do? I wouldn't know what to do. And that's where I was. I was driving again this weekend when my friend broke it to me that Kobe died. And I was like, I'm driving. I can't deal with this. I was like, I can't.
Yeah.
And it just like, I was like, no wonder I've always pushed men away. No wonder I've always pushed everybody away. Because I literally did not want to feel lost.
You were reactive to the things that happened to you in the past that you had dealt with.
And I did not want to feel lost.
So many people are how they act and how they take on things is because they're being reactive to some old stuff that they ain't dealt with. Whether it them be on drugs, whether it be them whatever. They haven't dealt with it. Yeah. And that's okay though.
But that's the thing, it's okay. And so because I've been doing so much work on myself, coming to Florida was where I started the healing process for me. And so it's been hard. It's been hard. But the thing is that I started recognizing is like, okay, well, you know what? I ain't no good for nobody this week. Because I need to be good for me.
But you have to protect the MVP.
Exactly. So I was like, I have to be good for me. So I was like, you know what? I wasn't doing anything. It came for work. I wasn't going to work. And I own my own business. So guess what? Not that I didn't make no money that day. I just wasn't going to be effective that day. But, a lot of people don't realize that, what, you really do go through the motions so much that you don't even know when you're grieving for years at a time.
Years. And one thing I'm like, seriously, I didn't realize I knew how bad my grandma's death affected me. But I think about it now. What would it say? 2020 hindsight is 2020. I used to be. My grandma died 3 days after Christmas, in 2004, and it was a holiday. And then the reactiveness from that is I found my grandfather, like I was saying, the week before Christmas when I was 15. So the holidays are very rough for me. Yes. But I was reactive because I'm not dealing with it. I'm not really, taking it on. And like I said, I was in an inebriated state because I was like, I don't even want to deal with this. But this is what people do. This is why a lot of our people are out on the streets right now in Nebraska walking up and down because they're being reactive because they haven't dealt with certain things. They're numbing pains, whether it be from sexual trauma, whether it be from losing family members. So many things. But there's not a safe place for our people for that. And they think that there's not. Or they think that they can't go. Because people like to judge. And that's the problem. I was ashamed to admit I had postpartum depression. I was ashamed. When I gave my uncle the book, he was like, "You ain't never had depression." Yeah. I was like, "Bruh, I did."
That's a reaction, especially from our older.
Yes, and my uncle's 63, so he's like, "You didn't have depression."
Because a lot of things, like now, me and my dad can talk about a lot of things that when I was younger, hell no, I wouldn't talk to her about stuff. You know what I'm saying? We're in a great space now, and that took time.
It takes time.
That took conversation. That took screaming and crying. You know what I'm saying? Like. That is one of my best friends now. Yeah. Versus before, look.
But I feel that. And that's how I felt about my mom. Like, honestly, me.
What's up, Daddy? He might be watching.
Dad, look, she love you, Daddy.
He might be watching.
She love you.
No, he's tuned in a couple times.
Right.
That's my dopest. That's my man.
But you have something to go through things. Those rough times build character if you allow it. And like me and my mom did not always have the best relationship. But after I realized I was dealing with postpartum depression and forgave and things and moved on, I had to forgive for my own healing.
Look,
Because I was reading somebody post, this girl who I follow, she
forgive
was like,
yourself.
Do you believe in forgiveness? And the old people are like, child, scrotum, middle finger. But no, if you do not forgive, you don't heal. I ain't got to say, you got to call them and say, hey, I forgive
no,
you.
it's not even that.
It ain't about
you
that.
Gotta release that
Your
energy.
spirit has to release that energy because if you hold on to it, it is like gangrene. So you have to let those things go so it won't eat you up inside.
It's a killer.
And plus, you're blocking your blessings at the end of the day. You got to let it go so you can get these blessings.
We gotta clap.
Come on, hand clap,
hand
clap, hand clap, hand clap, hand clap. But you're blocking those blessings if you don't allow your heart to heal and forgive. And once I learned that and released that, am I saying 2019, heck, 2017 till 2019 kicked my butt. I'm talking about kick my butt. I shouldn't be alive. That's going to be another book. I shouldn't be sitting here with you today.
Yeah.
I should be in someone's graveyard.
Yeah.
But, through the grace and just having a positive attitude and having the right people, my irons in my life to be there for me and to support me that allow me to come out of my depression and allow me to come out of bad situations.
Yeah.
And so, regardless of what goes on in my life, you're talking about shedding your not letting your light shine.
No, so that was the thing because I was conditioned, and again, it was just the traumas, and my grandmother was just one of my traumas growing up. But dimming my light and allowing everybody else, to just think that I didn't have nothing much
but that
going
was supposed
on.
to happen for you because if not, look where you are now.
Yeah.
That's part of your journey.
Yeah.
And that needed to happen in your journey to
And
get to this space. You know what I'm saying?
The past couple months, for a while, like I really I've been doing my stuff, but I always kept it real low key.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, I want people to have access to me. One thing I believe is I protect me at all costs, right? Because I've had people literally try to kill some of my family members. So it's like, all right, well, if you don't know what I'm doing, you don't have access to nobody.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it was just like, you know what? I'm just going to always maintain, you don't know who Balaji is. Balaji come and go as she please. If I'm flying, you don't know who, where. I was one of those people before back in the day. Back in the day, we used to post all the stuff that we used to do.
Yeah.
But I realized that that's energy too.
Oh, girl, people will block your... Let me tell you something.
People see you happy. People see you
don't
literally, I feel
People
so
don't
much
like it.
joy at times, and it's like, nah, man, you gotta hide this, And I was like, man, fuck this. You know what I'm saying? So I had to learn, and where I'm at now, because he was mentioning my post earlier, there's just been a lot of people who, they don't know their place. Let's just say that. All right? Just because I do stuff for the people, just because I'm out and about doing things, again, that's my work capacity. My private life is very private.
Oh, I'm extremely private. Yeah, absolutely.
Meaning that, and this is not just today. I've been dealing with this for a couple weeks. People just send me random stuff. They just feel like they could just approach me any type of way. And dude, I will knock you all the way out. Let's not play that real quick.
Right.
Because I could go there real quick. And they don't realize, it's like, hold up.
You
thought it was the nice chick. No. Know your place.
I'm not the 1, the 2, or the 3.
I'm not.
To mess with.
Look. So we're about to take our second break. This is Goddess Talk with Balaji and Miss Erin. We'll be right back. Nah, people have been trying me. And I was like, oh,
It's
y'all
like dudes or like...
dudes and chicks. Let me let you know something. We're not doing that.
Yeah.
And so it's like, I was like, all right, I could be the OB. My friends and family and cousins know who the OB is.
Oh, listen, you talked to a cat right here.
Or I could be the elevated B.
Yeah.
Or I could put a mix on it. I'm going to give you one warning. Because y'all always watching stuff.
Yeah.
Because that's the thing. People really do be trying to block.
Yeah.
And it's like I cover not just myself, but I cover my family. I cover my friends. I don't play about anybody.
Yeah.
And so, here's your warning. Don't let me really go where I could go.
People really don't know their boundaries. They overstep it. They can
stay in your lane. And that's if you want to read the whole post, you can. My page is public enough for you to read it. But stay in your lane.
Yeah, people really don't understand that. Hey, everybody watching.
What's
How
up?
y'all doing?
How y'all?
Hi.
Look, we just out here chit chatting. That's
yeah.
what Gotta Talk is. This ain't no formality.
Chit chat.
It's just chit chat because at the end of the day, we're healing. Every conversation I feel is a healing space.
That's a good thing.
Yeah, because that's really why I created Gotta Talk, because again, like my friends, everybody was like, "Yo, B, you really have a way of talking with people." And I was like, "Yeah, but who want to talk to me like that?" You know. But then look, I'm booked till July now.
Come on.
But that's all my Thursday. So now I'm starting to create other spaces to do other things. Events are happening. People are calling me different places.
10 seconds. Oh, we're going to be back on, y'all.
We're about to be back on. But
thanks for tuning in.
It takes me out of my comfort zone.
Yeah. And that's good, though. That's what you need.
But that's what I'm saying. So that message.
Diamonds are built under pressure.
And I'm April. Diamond is my birthstone.
And you an Aries. So
hey, y'all. Hey, y'all. This is Balaji on Goddess Talk. We are back with Erin McFarley of the Rising Phoenix firm. And we're discussing her book, Rise Up, Overcoming Depression. We're not just discussing this book. We're just chit-chatting as well. We're having some healing sessions. I'm being healed today, y'all, because it's been a rough week. And I know some people, literally, like, it's just been rough.
I'm so sorry. I just had a squirrel moment. You have one of the Supremacy of God?
Yes.
That's one of my tattoos. I love it.
So I believe in a lot of stuff. So you know this Hamsa or the Hand of Fatima. So I'm very in tune.
Yes.
And
I see them at your nails. I'm like,
this, if you know what guy, I'm forgetting the pronunciation, but it is from Ghana.
Adrika tribe.
It's a Dikra, all right.
Adikra. Okay, Dikra tribe.
And but that's the Sanskrit of original Sanskrit, and it means basically but God.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I am a god.
Yes.
And I say you're a god. I don't just say you're a queen. Like, I've been queen bee since I was 7. My aunt, she was so crazy. That's why I didn't know who Lil' Kim was. I didn't know who Beyonce was.
Kim, I'm like, oh,
no, nah. I was just queen bee. This is what she called me as a kid. And so I've been queen bee since then. And I've always just embodied that. Yeah. My name, the meaning of it, my family's Yoruba or Yoruba, as everybody else says. And I really am in full embodiment of all my names because I have several. But, you know, you have to walk and be as you would want to be addressed. You know what I'm saying? So if I'm saying Goddess Talk, shoot, I have to practice like I am the God myself. You know what I'm saying? Absolutely. I have to make sure I heal myself as a God would. I have to make sure that I heal others too. But again, I give space and time for that. But when I need my time, it's my time. Exactly.
And again, your time is very important. And people don't really understand. I never forget, I was working one day years ago, and I was walking around the building. I used to live in Tampa for like 15 years. But anyway, I was working, and one of my colleagues was like, "Oh, I need to talk to you," but it was my time to go outside and enjoy nature and just reconnect. And so anyway, I'm outside doing my thing, walking, reconnecting, and I was like, "I hear you, sis, but give me a minute, and I'll come talk to you." Yeah. She was like, "That's so rude." Let me stop you. My time, for me, is mine. And it's not rude. It's selfish of you to not allow me to have my time to regenerate before you dump your mess on me. And that's people love to dump their mess on you, and that sucks up your energy. Yes. And that's like an energy vampire just sucking the life out of you. I create space and time for people, and then when it's my time, it's my time. Boundaries. And I will not move. And when I don't want to be bothered, you ain't gonna bother me. No. And that means my family can't bother me. My friends can't bother me. So it's like you have to operate in what you are able to do. So releasing, because you talked about release, right? Talk about release a little bit more, because it's very important to release people, release energy. You have to release things. You have to release the things the mistakes you've made, and you have to forgive yourself. People don't realize you have to forgive yourself for the times that you were living in survival mode. Yes. Or you were doing some things that may have been a little ratchet, or whatever the case may be, but you have to forgive yourself. And you have to forgive those that may have done harm against you, because if you hold those things on again, you know, anyone who's had any type of abuse and things of that nature. I was in a very abusive relationship at one point in time in my life. And I had to forgive that person for me to move on, to know that I can welcome love again. Yes. Even though I'm single.
Look,
No.
somebody better scoop up Erin real
Yeah,
quick.
no.
Don't let my girl be out here single for too long.
I had to like give myself space
Yeah.
to know that I can welcome love again. But I had to forgive that
process.
person. I had to forgive myself for taking on the things that I took on while being with that person, and whatever the case may be. But some people are like, "Oh, f that, I ain't doing that." Let me tell you something, baby. You ain't gonna never love. You ain't gonna never grow. You ain't gonna never get to the space
It's
that
a
you need to
process.
be to elevate. If you're holding on to old things like a junkyard dog, they got all the junk in there and they guarding the junk. They about the junk. But that is people.
That is real.
That is people holding on to past situations
Yes.
in their life that's happened to them.
Yeah.
They junkyard dogs guarding it, and it's trash.
Yeah.
It's junk.
Yeah.
You are guarding junk.
And then you dump it on somebody else.
And you dumping it on
and then you
somebody
blame that
else.
person for not wanting to deal with it. Nah, deal with your stuff
You
first,
have to.
and
You
then
have to.
allow that person to deal with you.
Absolutely.
Because you don't want nobody to dump nothing on you.
No.
Because this is a narrative I can't stand that us women really say. I ain't got time to be taking care of no grown man. I ain't got time to be healing. Are you healed yourself?
Baby, you right. You don't have time because you ain't healed, sis.
You see what I'm saying?
You hurting too.
But this is the thing. If he's doing the work, you need to do the work.
Two negatives don't make a positive.
It don't. But two positives do continue to make positivity.
Continuity.
You know? So, talk a little bit more about just the other things you do, because, yeah, you are an author now. All right? We're going to make you a best-selling author out here. All right? Rise Up, Overcoming Depression, Miss Erin McFarley. You can find it on Amazon.
And at www.riseupovercomingdepression.com.
Hey, plug. And, of course, I'll share it again on my all my social medias. But what other tools can we take out of, or what other things can we take away from this?
Meditation. Take at least a few minutes every morning to be grateful. Gratefulness brings blessings. If you're not grateful, you're not going to be getting anything. I remember in my life I was not grateful. I was an ungrateful walking thing. I'm telling you. I would maybe been positive, but I had to be real with myself that I was ungrateful for some things. And that's a nasty pill to swallow. To be like, damn, I was not great. I wasn't.
Yeah.
But then when I realized the gratefulness and the air that's in my body every morning when I wake up, that I don't have a hand in.
Yeah.
You know, where I live, to the people that are in my life, the new relationships that I'm coming into, that are coming around me, like that gratefulness and that gratitude is amazing. That's the real pill. That's what you need. People need to take a big dose of that and find gratitude, not complaining, not always being like, oh, my life messed up, oh, my baby daddy this. Let me tell you what, stop complaining.
Gratefulness is a hard thing for a lot of people to operate in, but once you actually feel it one time, you can continue to repeat that emotion.
It's a limitless pill, man, I'm telling you.
So today, when I was driving over here, I saw a rainbow, right? And I take those as very meaningful because I'm always noticing them. But for a long time, I lost my rainbows. I wasn't getting them anymore.
I know that.
I knew I was blocked. Right? So for me, that blockage was a higher situation, not even just the chakras. It was just a lot of different blockages.
I feel that.
Right? And so today, like I said, was just this whole week has taken me through all the emotions, right? But today was really hard, and I was actually speaking to my accountant, who happens to be really a great friend of mine. And I got on the phone at first, and I was just, like talking about business. She's like, what's wrong with you? I was like, man, she's like, nah, I can't with this fake smile behind your thing.
When someone know you, they ain't gonna let you ride.
Exactly.
Hey, best friend, I see you watching this. You don't be letting me be that way either.
But I really just unloaded, started crying a little bit, because I was like, nah, I can't do this right now, because I'm still trying to maintain strong, right? I'm gonna cry later tonight. But, I got my rainbow today, and I was just like, I started writing. So I had to pull over a little bit, start writing, because writing is very important to me.
Yeah, it helps me.
It just really helps a lot of things. If I can't speak it out, I'm gonna write it out.
Oh, yeah.
And it was just like, I was like, yo, I'm very grateful, because I thought I had lost my rainbows, but it confirmed a lot of things and a lot of people, right? And I just have to operate in that gratefulness.
Yes.
I have to be grateful that, all this uncomfortable stuff that's been going on in my life. But I've been truly blessed with all of it, though. Like, it's very uncomfortable, but I'm being blessed at the same time. So it's like,
I'm crying,
that
but
push
I'm
and
like,
pull.
it's good.
So it's like, it's a good cry. It's a good hurt. Is a good heartache, because you're breaking your old heart. You're breaking that hardness of your heart.
Chipping that diamond.
You are.
Chipping it.
I'm making it real precious
You
right
gotta
now.
chip away sometimes, and that's like real talk. Like you have to chip away
Yeah.
those layers. You have
Yeah.
to. Don't be that junkyard dog. You gotta
Look.
let those old things go.
Cause
Oh,
I'm
that's just
bulldog
how I
about some
am.
things I'm not.
Listen, I understand. You got a bull massive right here. Like you got to be able to let
Yo.
stuff go. But you know, you have to let stuff go
And that's
to
it.
grow.
Yeah.
And once I realized that, even though people may not be in the space that they want to be in, even myself, I see myself doing greater things. You know. But this journey, I meditated for days like this, to be sitting down, to be discussing with people in my book, to meet people who are like-minded. I'm really big on building relationships. Relationships, ending of that compound word is ship. Ships take you places. I ain't being on no ship that's docked and anchored.
Yeah.
I don't want it.
You
I don't care what kind of relationship it is, friendship, love ship, whatever. We got to be moving and going places.
I was just listening to this song, and it's an old song, My Ship Has Come In. What is this song?
Oh, that's my jam! That's my jam, because no one really knows him!
That's my damn song! And I was listening to
And
it
that
too in the
video
car.
is so good. It's
Yo,
like, oh my
I was
God.
about to, no, okay, so let me find the song because it's on my thing.
that's a jam.
But
I
gotta play it, yeah.
That's that old 2008, 2007 vibe.
Yeah, I have to find it. Damn, my ship has finally come. What is it? Now
K-John.
Yeah,
Yes.
K-John.
I think but going in. Oh, that's my song.
On the ocean, yes, I know my ship is coming. That's the jam right there.
But
He's
but
so
that
good.
was the song today.
He has a few
So
songs
this is
that
the
are
thing. Again, like I said, I was gonna cancel this, but I was like, something just told me just keep coming because I'm gonna get some healing today. So I thank you for this, right?
Yeah.
But another song that I was listening to was Babyface, Exceptional, right? Your love is exceptional.
Yeah.
And it's like, you deserve to know what your love is.
Yes.
And you deserve to have your love reciprocated.
Absolutely.
In the same form that you try to give it to other people. So, depression is very real, y'all. We as a people have suffered, and it's not just here, because there are going to be people who tell you, my family didn't go through slavery, okay? But they're right. They're right. They were original to this land, and they were able to, get away from all these predators that we know as, the Caucasoid. Well, you know what I'm talking about. So, but
Clear
the
people
thing,
in my house.
my friend calls them clears too. But the thing is, even overseas, my family's Nigerian. They suffered over there. Ghana
Absolutely.
suffered.
This is a world epidemic. This is a
Everywhere.
world
Haiti
epidemic.
suffered.
Yeah.
The people in the Puerto Rico, because you gotta understand the history of those we see as Puerto Ricans and Dominicans
My
and
son's
everything.
father's Puerto Rican. He's from Puerto Rico. They black.
Yeah.
But different drop off on the ship.
Yes.
But it's a doctor, I forgot her name, but she talks about a
traumatic station. That's Dr. Joy DeGruy.
Yes,
and I was talking about her last week, but everybody needs to know her.
Everybody really need to know her.
Yes.
Our people are going through that. And other cultures,
it's generational now.
It's generational, and my family is very multicultural. We have Asians, we got Spanish, but the ones who are supposed, because we're not minorities, but anyway,
we are the majority
of
this world. Let's not even go there.
That's the biggest joke and
I will tear that thing apart.
Anyway, I can go on about that. That's different for another show.
Yeah,
but other cultures besides Caucasian have dealt with so much from the Caucasian, and because of that, a lot of the other cultures have also been conditioned to not deal with things.
Yeah,
they've also been conditioned to just suck it up and take it, and a lot of people are suffering.
Yeah,
and it's not also. I mean, it's all races of people, but this is a world epidemic, and the powers that be want to keep you held down. The powers that be want to keep you depressed. They want to keep you docile, so that way they can control you and putting you on medication so they can do whatever they want to do
you.
And and so people have to really wake up and be okay with dealing with their stuff, their trauma,
and
their
you
stuff,
have
whatever
to
that
go
may be.
deeper than just your trauma, because you have to heal the trauma of the whole family, the generations.
It can be generational, and that's what a generational curse is: past traumas, past situations. You have to sometimes go deep down to great grandmama. What she, for example, my great grandmother's family. Her mom passed away. Her dad back then had 5 kids, and back in those days, it was like a little bit after slavery, that they made the male feel that they couldn't take care of the kids, so that the white people would buy the kids. So my great grandma was bought. This is my grandma's mom, and she was molested and raped at the age of 12 and having her first child in 1901. And so those traumas that she dealt with, it gave our grandma a certain idea of relationships with men, relationships with white people. Then it gave my mom a certain idea. Then it gave me, you understand what I'm saying to you? So we had to reach back and take care of those certain things to heal. You know, because you got to heal for your great grandma, your great great grandma, because she may not. You know, those things are passed
You're healing
on.
your ancestors.
Correct.
And the thing is, you know, therapy, as much as a lot of people, I haven't done it myself personally, so I can't tell you what to do. But I do see how, you know, it is very helpful.
It is extremely helpful.
You know what I'm saying? And when I get to it myself, I'll get in there. I've been doing a lot of the self-work myself. You know what I'm saying? But healing is literally, that's what you owe yourself. You owe yourself love, even if it's just from yourself. You know what I'm saying? And you owe yourself healing, because it is a process. Don't let nobody rush you to it too either, because at the end of the day, a lot of people are like, well, you should get over it. You should get over it. You can't tell somebody that. Your trauma is not my trauma.
We have 400 years of getting over it as a people, being told that and having to deal with that, and look what the after effects of our people are just.
We could go back to the Moors, honestly. Okay? That's taking us back further. But you know, we're about to take our last and final break. Here at Goddess Talk. You want to call in? Oh, that's it? That's the whole show? Damn!
Oh, we had a good time.
That was a good show. We'll have Erin back on. But Erin, thank you for being here.
Thank you. I really
Get her book, Rise Up and Overcome Depression. All right, but this is Goddess Talk. I'll see you next week, Thursday. Peace.
Peace and blessings.